Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing good. So today we'll start the next part of the real number chapter. Okay students, first we'll see what is rational numbers. A number that can be expressed as p by q where p, q are integers and q is not equal to 0 is called a rational number. Means if a number in the form of p by q is called as rational numbers where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. Example 3 by 5, 7 by 9, 13 by 15. So here 3 and 5 are integers and 7 and 9 are integers, 13 and 15 are integers, and the denominator 5, 9, 15 are not equal to 0. So these are all example for rational number. So HCF of P and Q is 1. So here HCF of 3 and 5 is 1, HCF of 7 and 9 is 1, and HCF of 13 and 15 is 1. So P and Q are co-primes. Co-prime means the HCF of two numbers is 1. Those numbers we called as co-primes. So next we'll see irrational number. So irrational number means a number that cannot be expressed as p by q where p, q are integers and q is not equal to 0 is called an irrational number. Means the number which is not in the form of p by q are called irrational numbers. So example root 2, root 3, root 15, pi, root 2 by root 3. So these are all the examples for irrational numbers. Okay students, now we'll see one theorem. Let p be a prime number and a be a positive integer. If p divides a square, then p divides a. So means here one prime number p is dividing a square, then the same prime number it divides a also. So that we need to prove here. So we'll see the given thing that p be a prime number and a be a positive integer such that p divides a square. So p divides a square is a given thing. So to prove, we need to prove here p divides a. So proof, we know that every positive integer can be expressed as a product of primes by the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So let a equal to p1 into p2 into so on pn. Here p1, p2 and pn are the prime numbers. So we have expressed the composite number a as a product of primes. So then a square equal to p1 into p2 into so on pn and into p1 into p2 into pn. So here a square equal to p1 square, p2 square and so on pn square. So since p divides a square, it's a given thing, then p is a prime factor of a square and p is one of p1, p2 and pn. So p divides a because we know that a equal to p1 into p2 into so on pn. So thus p divides a square, this implies p divides a, hence proved. We'll see the example. Let 2 be a prime number, then 2 divides 64. So 64 means it's nothing but 8 square. So 2 divides 8. We'll see another. Let 3 be a prime number. 3 is a prime number here. Then 3 divides 81, that is 9 square. Then 3 divides 9. I hope you understood. So students, we'll see next. Prove that root 2 is an irrational number. We know that irrational number means which is not in the form of p by q. So here we need to prove root 2 is an irrational number. So to prove that we'll use the method contradiction. So using this method we can prove the irrationality of a number. So to prove that, we'll assume that root 2 be rational number. So here we are assuming root 2 is a rational number. If it is a rational number, then it will be in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. So p and q are co-primes because it is rational by our assumption. So HCF of p and q is 1, means they don't have any common factor other than 1. So root 2 equal to p by q because it's a rational by our assumption. So squaring on both sides will get 2 equal to p square by q square. Here root 2 square, 2 and root will cancel. So 2 equal to p square by q square. Then 2q square, and 2 will multiply q square, then 2q square is equal to p square. We call it as equation number 1. So 2 divides p square, then 2 divides p by our previous theorem which we have proved already. So here p by 2 equal to m because p is divisible by 2, means 2 is dividing p, then we will get a quotient m. Then next p equal to 2m by this. So it is 2 will multiply with m, then 2m equal to p, that is p equal to 2m, where m is an integer. So next put p equal to 2m in 1. In equation number 1 we are filling p equal to 2m. So 2q square equal to 2m whole square. In place of p we are filling 2m here, then we'll get 2q square equal to 2m whole square. After simplification, 2q square equal to 4m square, then 2 and this 4 will get cancelled, then q square equal to 2m square. So 2 divides q square, here 2 is dividing q square, then we'll get quotient m square, so that is 2 divides q square. Then again by previous theorem 2 divides q. So thus 2 is a common factor of p and q because 2 is dividing q and here 2 is dividing p also. So from this 2 is a common factor of p and q, but at the beginning we have assumed that root 2 is rational number, then p and q are having only one common factor, that is 1, but here we got other one, that is 2. So but this contradicts the fact that p and q have no common factor other than 1. The contradiction arises by assuming that root 2 is rational number. So our assumption is wrong here. What we have assumed? We have assumed that root 2 is rational number. So from this our assumption went wrong. So root 2 is an irrational number. So next we'll see another example. Prove that 3 root 2 is an irrational number. So with the help of previous example we can solve this. So let us assume that 3 root 2 be rational number. So first we'll assume the given irrational number. So means we are proving here 3 root 2 is an irrational, but we'll assume it's a rational number. So then it will be of the form p by q, where p, q are co-primes, integers, and q is not equal to 0. So now p by q equal to 3 root 2. So this implies p by 3q. This 3 will multiply with this q. So p by 3q equal to root 2. So since p is an integer and 3q is also an integer and 3q is not equal to 0. So p by 3q is a rational number. So root 2 is a rational number. So here p by 3q is rational, then it's equal to root 2, then that is also a rational number. But in previous example we proved that root 2 is irrational. So here LHS is not equal to RHS. So this contradicts the fact that root 2 is an irrational number. So therefore our assumption is wrong. Hence 3 root 2 is an irrational number. Okay students, now we'll see the decimal expansion of rational numbers. So here in decimal expansions there are two types. One is terminating and non-terminating. And again in non-terminating there are two types. One is repeating and another is non-repeating. We'll see the examples. So terminating 3 by 5. 3 by 5 is a rational number. Here we are dividing 3 by 5 by the division process and we will get 0.6, and after this 6 the division process ends, means we will get remainder as a 0. So there is a end for the decimal places here. So this is terminating decimal expansion. So terminating decimal expansion means it's a rational number. So next, non-terminating, they're repeating. Here we are dividing 7 by 6. Then we'll get 1.166666 and so on. Then we can express this as 1.16, and on the head of 6 we'll write bar. This bar indicates the digit 6 is repeating continuously. So there is no end for the decimal places here. So it is non-terminating decimal expansion, but it is repeating because the 6th digit is continuously repeating here. Then we will not get remainder 0 here. So next, non-repeating. So non-repeating in the sense, here we are dividing 22 by 7, then we'll get 3.14285714 and so on. So here also there is no end for the decimal places and no digit is repeating here in a particular order. There is no particular pattern in the decimal expansion. So this is non-repeating because digits are non-repeating, and non-terminating because there is no end for the decimal places, and here also will not get 0 in the remainder place. So next we'll see the nature of the decimal expansions of rational number without actual division. Then how to find out the nature of decimal expansion of rational number without doing the actual division. So there is a property, it says that let x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. Then x can be expressed in the form of p by q. Because x is rational number, then you can write it in the form of p by q, where p and q are co-primes, and the prime factorization of q means the denominator term. The denominator terms prime factorization is of the form 2 raised to n into 5 raised to m, where n and m are non-negative integers. The denominator should be expressed in the form of 2 raised to n and 5 raised to m, then only it is terminating decimal expansion. See the example. Let us consider 0.375. Here we have only 3 places in the decimal place, so it is terminating decimal expansion. When you continue it, 0.375, you can write it as 375 by 1000. Then after simplification we will get 5 by 8. This 8 you can express as 2 cube, means 5 by 8 you can write as 5 by 2 cube. So denominator is expressed as 2 raised to n. Here n means 3. So denominator can be expressed in the form of 2 raised to n and 5 raised to m, or 2 raised to n into 5 raised to m. So based on this we can determine after how many decimal places the decimal expansion is terminating. So if it is in the form of 2 raised to n, then decimal expansion terminates after n places. If here in place of n 3 is there, then decimal expansion terminates after 3 places. Then 5 raised to m, decimal expansion terminates after m places. If m equal to 2, 3, 4, whatever, then the decimal expansion terminates after those m number of places. Suppose if it is having 2 raised to n and 5 raised to m, both are there, then decimal expansion terminates after n places if n is greater than m. Means if n equal to 3 and m equal to 4, then it terminates after m places. Suppose n is greater, then it terminates after n places.